I want to share a huge warning to Americans and people globally. Now, what I'm about to share with you is just my opinion. It's based on my 8 to 9 hours a day of research, going deep in history and understanding economic human behaviors, and what is actually happening within the world. Okay, don't make any financial moves based on what I say, but this is a huge warning, and I'm going to tell with you from a logical circuit of what I believe is happening. So I'm going to take a step back to 2012 and then bring us to 2023. So in 2012, there were some radical transformations that we need to pay attention to. Number one, the FOMC was created, which was a Future Oversight Committee, was to regulate non-bank financial institutions, preparing us for 2022 and 2023, the crypto revolution, blockchain technology, on-demand liquidity, and real-time payments. A off-site or decentralized system, they were getting prepared for that in this moment, okay? There also was the moment where Rosie Rios was told to reduce coin and cash usage in 2012, but she couldn't because of the Obama Rescue Plan, which turned the printing machine on full blast. That's very important. Another thing you need to understand, not understand, you're not under anybody, is the Bank Bail-In Committee was created in 2012, okay? So you have the Bank Bail-In Committee, the Future Oversight Committee, and the printing machine was turned on full blast, and Rosie Rios was told to reduce coin and cash usage. But she said she couldn't because GDP growth, because of the printing machine. So she said you need a shock to the system, key, write that down, to change consumer behaviors. And now where you're sitting in 2023, from 2023 to 2025, here's my warning. If you don't mentally, physically, and spiritually prepare and financially prepare, you are going to go through one of the craziest transformations in your life that most people are not ready for. Again, this is just my opinion. So let's fast forward to 2020. There was a massive shock to the system. We all went through it together as a globe. Interesting, right? The pandemic, which changed our consumer behaviors, it reduced coin and cash usage, it changed the way we worked, it changed the way we dated, it changed the way we ran businesses, it changed the way we did everything. Then we went into 2022, we had a massive crypto boom. Russia invaded Ukraine, America stepped in to defend Ukraine, and also tried to take Russia off the SWIFT system. That's very important to write that down. It's all a financial narrative. These are cycles that are happening in history. His story is repeating itself in order to keep humanity enslaved. This is your opportunity to transform your family's life. And at the end, I'll share with you how I'm doing it. Okay, so then we went into 2022 to 2023. They turned the printing machine off. Okay, they printed more money than in history. Now, as we sit in 2023, they jacked up interest rates and cut the printing machine off. Now, this is very important for you to pay attention to. I'm going to give you the signals that I'm looking for that will give you the signals. Number one, how things are going to transform, and number two, how it's going to destroy most of the middle class. So now we're in 2023. People are holding on by a string. Consumer debt is at an all-time high. America's at 33 trillion in debt. Most of the debt's held outside the United States. The highest debt holders are Japan and China. In America, we have to borrow for critical services to pay for we have to borrow to pay for critical services. Our taxes are going to pay the interest on our debt. There is no money in the system. Every single dollar is someone else's debt. Okay, so interest rates are high. The printing machines turn on full blast, and they're shrinking the balance sheet, okay? So when interest rates are high, people flights to safety like cash, things like that, become more attractive. The markets become kind of stagnant. This is a signal I want you to pay attention. They're going to drag us through 2024. You're going to have the Bitcoin halving in April 2024, which is going to, about 90 days, 60 to 90 days after that, crypto is going to start to go parabolic. So it'll be April, May, June, going into July. The signal you need to look for from the feds, okay? This is just basic economics. Right now, remember, high interest rate, printing machine turn off full blast. The economy is getting destroyed with high interest rates. Companies are struggling to survive because they can't borrow their way out of debt anymore or get debt to borrow them ways out of trouble. 2024, on the back end into 2025, you're going to see, or you're going to hear a signal. If Jerome Powell says we're now lowering interest rates and we're going to turn the printing machine off to help the public, you better get ready for a massive parabolic move in cryptocurrency, stock market, and any assets. But the problem is this is going to cause massive amounts of inflation in assets. The rich are going to get much richer, and the poor are going to get extremely poor, and the middle class is going to get smashed. So here's what I'm doing. What I've done since 2020, not financial advice, is I've used crypto as a very speculative asset. I was just in cryptocurrency and then I matured and now I'm in multiple different things diversified. So cryptocurrency I use as a very speculative asset to gain a large amount of wealth in a short amount of time. Different from get rich quick. I do the opposite of the 99%. When everybody's running from crypto, I'm accumulating. When everybody's flooding in, I'm exiting. So I'll be exiting from 2024 to 2025, depending on the exit targets that I hit. I'm exiting 50% of my portfolio. I put my stuff into insurance. I don't trust the system, so I put my money into insurance. I do what banks do. Look up bank-owned life insurance. Your banks aren't teaching you how to insure your wealth. They're teaching you how to insure your life. I use tax code 7702, Infinity Banking Concept, to secure my wealth, to compound my wealth, to guarantee my principal, get market-like returns, and also access it at retirement tax-free, and also tons of living benefits. So that's where I insure my wealth. As everybody's capital markets come collapsing down, my principal is guaranteed. Business, I went into information, technology, and attention, futuristically looking at where we're heading, not where we are, and that's how I increase my earned income every single quarter. I've brought in multiple companies since 2020. Each quarter I increase my earned income. I use precious metals. I'm in silver. I'll be transitioning to a little bit more of gold for store of value. It's God's money. It can still be manipulated by the banks because pretty much anything financial can be manipulated. And then in 2024, we'll be going into real estate vertical where I live. Everything is going vertical, apartment complexes. People can't afford to live anymore. People can't afford to buy a home anymore. They can't afford the interest rates. So people are going to be renting. So we're going to go vertical in apartment complexes and move into that era. Okay, so spiritually, I am working heavily on my relationship with God. Okay, I don't follow a religion. I love all people. I follow 3 rules. I love God with all my heart. Therefore, I love humanity as I love God. I pull the log out of my eye before I pull the straw to yours, and I treat others as I want to be treated. Pretty simple, right? I do a fasting protocol, high intensity training. I do a lot of spiritual work. I'm heading to Peru in just a couple days here for 14 days, do some deep spiritual work. But I'm working on my relationship and raising my frequency as high as possible. You should be working on your frequency. That's changing your foods, okay? Meditation, could be yoga, prayer. You need to raise your frequency, guys. This is a battle for your consciousness. This is not World War III in the physical, guys. This is World War III that's going to radically transform the way you think, the way you talk, and your emotions. And if you don't understand that this has happened in history over and over and over again, you will fall into the same cycle and pass this down to the next generation. So it's time to rise up into that king and queen consciousness. It's time to get your house in order. It's time to create a budget. It's time to understand how to take sovereignty of your wealth. And it's time to finally make your health a priority, and you'll be just fine. So I hope this information reaches you well. Signal you're looking for 2024 to 2025 is he's saying he's lowering interest rates and turning the printing machine back on, and you'll see assets go parabolic. You're going to need to have an exit plan. So I hope that helps. I'm going to bring more information like this to keep you guys abreast of what's going on. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go. Love you guys. Just to let you know, there's so many scammers out there. That's not me proactively DMing. I'll never ask about your investments. In my bio here on social media, I have tons of free resources. Number 1, my 16-page guide to Warrior Wealth. It's completely free. Number 2 is you can set up a free consultation with my licensed insurance team, and we teach you how we insure our wealth. It's a free conversation. There's nothing you have to pay us. We want to help as many people as possible. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together.